5 of our Be a Better You annual challenge. We're doing one thing every day this year to be a better version of ourselves, to be a better human being. And this whole month, we're focusing on and talking about the area of contribution. I use a 9-part life framework where I talk about, and I use it in every area and aspect of my life. I use it to set my legacy lifelong goals. I use it to break down projects. I use it to make sure that I'm not missing any key area of my life, because I did that for a while, for like a decade or so, and it ended up resulting in my death and then my being brought back to life through a lot of freezing and heart devices and things. But I don't recommend that strategy. I say let's do things proactively to create the life we want, instead of just going through the motions, letting all the things outside of us impact us, and not necessarily in a good way. So today I'm going to share a tool that will help you and me clarify the best ways for us to contribute as individuals and as parts of other organizations. If you own a business especially, you can be incredibly powerful and have a huge impact in the world and make the world a better place, just as we can as individuals. One person can truly make a difference, but you have to decide that you're going to. So I'm going to share a tool today called the 5 C's of alignment, so you can determine, and I can determine, I'm going to apply it to as part of our action item today, is to actually use this tool to identify your best ways to contribute. So what are these 5 C's of alignment? Number 1, clarity. And why are we doing this? Let's take a step back and think about this. We're picking something that's aligned with us, because if what we're doing, how we're volunteering, how we're showing up in the world isn't making the world a better place, if it doesn't make us feel good, if it doesn't play on our unique strengths, values, and passions, then we're not going to stick to it. And if we don't stick to something, guess what? We don't get the results that we want. So what are the 5 C's of alignment? So we make sure that we are clear and aligned with what we want. Well, the first step is clarity. Clarity meaning define your core values, which we kind of did yesterday. We're going to do that and revisit this process a lot. So by the end of this month, there is no question in your mind who you are, what you stand for, what you want to do, how you want to show up, how you want to create your own legacy and make the world a better place. Ask yourself questions like, what truly matters to me? What does it matter? What does matter to me? What change do I want to see in the world? We all look at the world and judge it and say, oh my God, if there just weren't any more wars, if people could just focus on one another's strengths and appreciate that and not always be judging and criticizing, etc. Number 2, capabilities. We're going to identify your strengths, talents, and resources. What do you naturally do well, right? There's things I do really, really well. There's a lot of things I just plain stink at. And so I choose not to do them, AKA one of them being housework. I don't like it. I don't want to do it. It doesn't make me feel awesome. I love a clean house, but I don't have to be the one that does it. So I'm not going to volunteer to do park cleanup projects and stuff, although I have, and I do once in a while, but it's not going to be the only way that I contribute. What have you learned through experience? One of the fastest, easiest, best ways to reinforce lessons that we've learned is to share them with other people, right? And make sure I do it with mistakes that I've made, to make sure that I don't make those same mistakes again, and that I can prevent other people from making those mistakes. If there's infinite possibilities in the mistakes we can make in our life, and how we determine if they're mistakes or not. Are they mistakes, or are they just learning lessons and stepping stones? I like to think they're just stepping stones up the mountain of what I want to create in my life. Number 3, step 3 is connection. Discover what causes or communities you feel emotionally drawn to. What are you attracted to? That's where you should put your energy. What problems break your heart, or what lights you up? I always like to go to what makes me feel good and lights me up side of that equation. But for a lot of people, they have an automatic negative focus. And I think as humans, we do, because we've been so inundated with negative messaging our whole life. And I notice this with my granddaughters, because they're not in the why stage, but they're in the can't stand to be told no about anything. Can I have another popsicle? No, not right now. It's dinner time. Can I just run out the front door and play? No, not without letting an adult know, etc. So I guess that's about boundaries for the most part, connections and boundaries. But what lights you up? And then 4 is context. Consider your lifestyle, energy, and the current season of your life. Where I'm in my life right now, the way I want to contribute and show up in the world and donate and make the world a better place is extremely different than when I was in my 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, even, right? Because we go through different seasons of our life. When you're raising your family and raising your kids, if you choose to have kids, that consumes a lot of your available time and energy. So consider the where you are in your life, because again, that changes over time. We're not the same person that we were when we were teenagers. So how we show up in the world and how we contribute and how we make the world a better place is totally different. What type of contribution fits sustainably into your life right now? And it's always what am I going to do right now? It's not what am I going to do 5 years from now? It's what am I going to do right now? And 5 is commitment. Choose a path and take consistent action. This is true of anything. It's why I love the annual challenge, because we just do one little thing every day. And if we do it every day, we are probably hundreds of times better or in a better position at the end of this year than if we didn't do anything, right? But be committed to it. Say, hey, I'm going to do this. And I think I've said this before, but you can lie to other people. You can fool some of the people some of the time. You can fool all of the people some of the time, but you can never fool yourself. You always know at a subconscious level if you're not keeping your word to yourself. So always keep your word to yourself. Even if it's something negative, do it and then learn that lesson. Ask yourself, what can I do regularly that creates a ripple effect of good in the world? What can I do on a regular basis to make the world a better place? It'll be different for each and every one of us based on the other C's of this incredibly powerful 5C method or tools for alignment. Curious if you've ever used this process before. I'm going to share one person's example with you. Emma is a stay-at-home mom and local volunteer. I've got Marcus's story. He's a small business owner. I'll share that in Supersize Your Business. And Zoe is a college student and aspiring artist. I will share, because I think more people that are here can relate to this one. I'll share Emma's story. She's a stay-at-home mom and a local volunteer. Her clarity is Emma values connection, kindness, and education. I asked a few people on my list to do this exercise today, and this is what they came back with. Capabilities, and this is all you have to do. Just a simple one-sentence answer, or just jot down a few words that help you know what that means for you. So for capabilities, she said she's organized, a good listener, and has experience as a former teacher. Connection, she's passionate about helping children in underserved communities. Contacts, with young kids at home, she only has a few hours a week to volunteer. And then commitment, Emma volunteers twice a week at her local library's after-school tutoring program and organizes quarterly book drives. Love this, right? Do what you can with what you've got right now. Start where you are. Make sure everything's aligned. Use this 5C's framework for, I love the word framework, to make sure that you're in alignment and the things that you choose to do are in alignment with who you are as a human being, how you want to show up in the world, and the example you want to set for the rest of it. All right, so what are we doing today? We are going to do this 5C exercise. I've already got mine written out in my handy dandy annual journal. I encourage you, sorry to not drop my paper, and do the same. Any questions about this? If you need help with this, otherwise do it and then share in the comments below just how you felt about this exercise, this method, this framework. I'm trying to get more feedback on the tools that I want to keep in my repertoire of sharing and those I want to let go of, because if they're not effective for anybody and I don't love them, I'm not going to share them on a regular basis like I do some of the tools that I absolutely love, like the SOAP framework, the ideas process. I love those. I'm going to keep sharing those. But when it comes to other people's tools that I've gleaned and borrowed and learned and tried on, I want to get feedback on those. I want to get feedback on mine too, by the way. All right. Have an awesome day. And I'll, of course, be with you tomorrow.